Good morning and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. If you are new to this show, it is where I take free picks from my favorite sports writers and handicappers, compile those picks, display them for you on these whiteboards on certain games that I happen to showcase, that I happen to like and have appeal toward for wagering purposes. Today we are doing free picks for the NCAA basketball on Sunday, March 1st. Let's get right to it. Yesterday I went 5-3 for the day. I did 2 programs, so I had 8 games going yesterday. For the morning show, I went 2-2, and let's see. Providence upset Villanova 58-54. I mentioned that in the afternoon show yesterday. Then Seton Hall, they went ahead and beat Marquette 88-79. That was a victory for me. I lost. Syracuse got clobbered in Syracuse by North Carolina. That's very unfortunate. That was a heartbreaker. And I won Virginia. They beat Duke 52-50. So that was 2-2 for the morning program. You know, I made up for it though with a 3-1 outing for the later program I did. I had Oklahoma State beat Iowa and covered. They won 73-61. Picked that game. I went with the full capper consensus and took BYU. That was 81, and they beat Pepperdine 81-64. Full capper consensus. Another full capper consensus. Butler beat DePaul 60-42. And finally, I lost the Michigan State Maryland game. I had Maryland because they're 15-0 at home, but they got trounced down by Michigan State. They lost Michigan State beat them 78-66 in Maryland. That is yesterday's games. It was still plus money. I still made out at the end, you know. For today's games, let me get a marker. We have Creighton at St. John's are playing at noon today. This is going to be a good one. St. John's Red Storm is getting 5.5 points at home. Taking Creighton, we have college football news, Pete Fiutak, and he scores the game 79-71. That's 150 points. That is under the total of 154. So we're saying under for college football news. Winners and Whiners, Nick Rafal is taking Creighton. That Salt, Doug Gilchrist is taking Creighton, and he is saying he's also saying it's going to be under the 154. Pick Dogs Mitch is taking Creighton. I'd like to add that Creighton already beat St. John's 94-82, but it was in Omaha, you know, so keep that in mind. That was February 8th. And finally, Sports Chat Place, Andrew Jett is taking Creighton. That is a full capper consensus. Nobody's taking the Red Storm, getting 5.5, being the home underdogs. Nobody. Everybody's taking Creighton. Creighton is a great team. They're 21-6, 6-4 on the road. St. John's 14-14, 11-6 at home. That is not bad. But I can't go against the consensus, and I like Creighton. I put a futures bet on Creighton to go to the Final Four. So But yesterday I had a futures bet on Villanova winning winning the championship, and they lost yesterday at home. That still irks me. Anyway, I'm taking the Blue Jays to come into New York and beat the Red Storm. And I'm also gonna go with the under, just because I had two cappers saying it's gonna go under, and 154 is, that's a tall order. I think, St. John's, as of late, they haven't been putting up numbers. That's who's LJ Figueroa. It's averaging like, I think, 17 points a game, I want to say. But anyway, done with that. Moving on, we have this is also another 12 o'clock game. University of South Florida is getting 4.5 points going into Philadelphia to take on Temple. USF is 12-16 overall, 2-6 on the road. Temple 14-14 overall, 8-5 at home. Not bad. Taking Southern Florida, we have Stat Salt, Diamond Dave Shields. I got a little tidbit about Diamond Dave, or not tidbit, but let's talk about that after I break down all these people taking Temple. Winners and Whiners, Nick Rafal taking Temple. Ricketts picks. John from Rickett picks. He's got a new backdrop on his channel. It's nice. His wife got it made for him. Has the cat paw, because Rickett is his cat. Wow. So he's taking it. Covers.com is all over Temple. Scores and Stats is saying 67-62. That is over the 127.5. See, that would have been a full capper consensus if it wasn't for this guy, Diamond Dave, and I'm going to show you why real quickly. Bear with me. Who's he? Stat Salt. Okay. Well, Diamond Dave, I'm going to be awful critical of your little full game side bet. Bottom line, what to bet on this game? Take South Florida here to cover. These two teams played twice last year, and both games went in overtime with Temple winning both. Haven't played each other this year, but I expect another close down to the wire game. And USF is getting 4. Okay, so far makes sense. Bulls may not have a great record, but they don't get blown out. They play tough defense, allowing just 62 points per game. That keeps them in most every game. Plus, they are at home, which they are a much better team. No, Diamond Dave, they are not at home. They're going to Philadelphia to play Temple. And sorry to push that out for you, but so because of that, I think Diamond Dave, that's null and void. Okay, and just to back it up, I had 5 picks. I went out, got another pick. Sports Chat Place, Chris Ruffalo is also going with Temple. Now that Diamond Dave Shields, his pick is out, this is another full capper consensus. Everybody is taking Temple to lay 4.5 in Philadelphia, and so am I. I like Temple in this game. As for the totals, we just have Diamond Dave did say, he said under also in his little rant, but you know what? I'm gonna because of that one sentence, they play tough defense. Plus, they are home, where they are a much better team. They are not at home, so on all his shit. That's what it is too, Diamond Dave. Your pick on that game is shit. Okay, so I'm not taking a total. I might, but as of right now, I'm not. I'm just taking the team. Okay, moving on. Got that rant out of the way. 1 o'clock game. Cincinnati, 18-9, 4-5 on the road, taking on Houston. Houston's awesome, 21-7, 12-2 at home. Houston is laying 7 points. That's a big 7 points against a good Cincinnati team. But let's just see what the Cappers have to say, huh? College football news: Pete Firetuck is scoring the game 70-65. So he's saying Houston's going to win, but it's within 5. So ATS, he's picking Cincinnati. Pick Dogs Mitch, he's on the same thing. No, he said he's got Houston winning, but not covering the 7 points. Finally, Stat Salt Michael Garaventa. Mike, I'm going to call him Mike. Mike Garaventa is saying it is going to go over 136. College football news, that 70-65, that is under, right? Yeah, that's under by a point. Okay, CFN saying under. Who's this? Stat Salt saying over. Anybody else? Oh, okay. Taking Houston, we have winners and whiners. Bosan Akumpelu. He's the math guy. He's a status guy. Statistician? Yeah, he's a math guy. He likes his numbers, and he's good. His picks are... I am a big fan of Bosan Akumpelu and his picks. I like him. I like David Hess for hockey. Valdez Pons for hockey. Winners and whiners they got a good fleet of cappers. Okay, and finally we have picks and parlays. David, no name because he's not in the top 5. I was just looking at the top 5 cappers over at picks and parlays, and it's like Easy Eddie, Damien Sash number 5. I'm a fan of Damien Sash, and I forget all of them. Whatever. I don't care. Let's see. That's it. We got 5. Oh, he's scoring the game 71-63, which would put it under. All right, 134. Yeah. Okay. So we have 3 cappers taking Cincinnati to stay within 7, and 2 guys taking Houston to cover 7. Houston's at home, and they have a better home record. And do I have any notes? Just that Cincinnati is 8-2 in their last 10. I'm gonna kind of go with the home team. I think they're gonna. Oh man, this is the toughest pick for me. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with Bosan, the math guy, and take Houston. I'm gonna go against the Capper majority. I'm not gonna, I'm not running to the bank to put money on that game, but take Houston, and we'll take the under. If I do throw, I might throw a few bucks on that, Houston and the under. That's what it's damn. My wife's up. Finally, the last game on this show is 2 o'clock. We have Xavier, 18-10, 4-5 on the road against Georgetown, 15-13, 10-6 at home. Taking Xavier is Doc Sports, Tony Sink. Pick Dogs, Shane Mickle. Scores and stats. Scores the game 70 to 65. That is 30. That's under. Pick Dogs Mitch is taking Xavier. This is a pick or one, you know, within, it's like, it's been floating between laying a point and pick. So I just put it as, that was last night's pick. But Pick Dogs Mitch is taking Xavier and he says to lay the point. So, winners and whiners, Sporty Jordy McElroy. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I have another one though. Stat Salt. Winning Willie. I think I did this so I can get the. And he's saying under. Stat Salt. Scores and stats. I don't know. They're both SS. Whatever. So this is a full capper consensus. We got 3 of them today. Incredible. 3 full capper consensuses. 3 full capper consensuses. I have to come up with a dance for this. So I'm taking Xavier. Also, this, do you know why everybody's taking? Because it's Georgetown. Otherwise, listen, I'll tell you why everybody's. Mac McClung and Omar Yurtseven, the 2 best players, are questionable or out of this game. That's why this is a full. If they were playing, I'm sure, I think I would be over here if they were playing, but they're not. That's why everybody's taking Xavier. Hey, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's just recap. We've got Creighton on a full capper consensus pick over St. John's. St. John's getting 5.5. And I took the under on that. We got Temple covering 4.5 over Southern Florida. And that was another, I explained, but that is now another full capper consensus. We have Houston. That was a tough pick. That kind of a coin flip for me because the points, I might flip, I don't know. I'm thinking Cincinnati might stay within 7. Oh, that is a tough pick. But I'm going to go with Houston because they're at home and they're a ranked team. Cincinnati's unranked. You know, it's March. And finally, the third capper consensus, we have Xavier going to Georgetown, beating the crap out of them because they have their 2 best players questionable, meaning even if they do play, they're not going to be 100%. And I'm taking the under on that game because of that fact. They don't have any shooters. But I don't know. Let's take the under, go with the cappers. There you have it. Gather your info, place your bets, cash the tickets. Hopefully I will see you I have to do a hockey show next because we have hockey coming on at 12 o'clock. And I did notice these are all early games, it's Sunday. Maybe I'll make another show for the before afternoon games come. Or, you know, these are all afternoon games, but you know what, later afternoon games. Because this is a 12, 1, 2. Okay? So we got all those 3, 4, knock on the door, all the rest of the games. Definitely enough for another show. So See you next episode. Make sure if you haven't yet, you should subscribe. I make these videos at least once a day. In the morning before work, I do basketball. After work, I do hockey. And baseball season, soon as the exhibition shit's done, I will start doing baseball. And it's going to be real fun when I get into football. So, I'll see you next episode. Click, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, do all that stuff. Thank you.